Hello and welcome to Sports Hub, just a day after Valentine's Day. So happy belated Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. My name is Modern Sinkara. Well, remember to give us feedback on the program by sending your comments on Facebook to Sports Hub page or Modern Sinkara Sports, or you can send a WhatsApp message to 0955 20 29 04, 0955 20 29 04. Then we'll be so glad to hear from you. Today I'm hosting a runner and a motor rally driver. It will be interesting to see who will emerge winner during our challenges that we'll have at the end of the program. So I'll be introducing them shortly. In terms of how much you know your sportsmen and women segment, last time we were here, I showed you a photo of Shapa Wakunguma. So he's a former judoka who has represented Zambia at different events such as the Commonwealth Games and the All Africa Games, where he won medals. He has also been president of the Zambia Judo Association. Currently, he is the aide-de-camp of the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema. How about this one? Can you manage to identify the following sports personality? He's also been a legend of Zambian sports. Who is that sports personality? If you know him, then you have to send a WhatsApp message to 0955 20 29 04. Or you can leave a message on Sports Hub page or Modern Sinkara Sports. Make sure you follow these pages, Modern Sinkara Sports or Sports Hub page. Then we'll be so glad to hear from you. But before I introduce my guests in the studio, let's look at some of the weekend results. We start with sad news in terms of basketball. The world of basketball recorded sad news on Friday when a bus carrying basketballers and officials was involved in an accident on the Ndola Kitwe dual carriageway. The bus was heading to Chingola for national championships when the accident happened. Unfortunately, 2 lives were lost, namely Dolphins Basketball Club player Mwango Chisanga, aged 29, and Heroes Play United assistant coach Nkandu Kasosa. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. From basketball, we go to football in the CAF Confederation Cup Group A. Sunday, 13th February, it was CS Sfaxien 1, Zanaco 0. Zanaco really played very well in terms of defending, because you know it's not easy when playing Arab teams. So CS Sfaxien of Tunisia were bombarding the Zanaco defense, but they remained resolute only to concede a late penalty, like with only a minute to go or so before the end of the match. That was in additional time. That's when Zanaco conceded the penalty, and Ayman Hazi nicely converted the penalty, sending the Zanaco goalkeeper Lamek Siame the wrong way. So tough luck to Zanaco, but there are still more games coming. 5 more games remaining for Zanaco. Then in the women's category, in the Women International Friendly, we saw Zambia hosting South Africa at Nkoloma Stadium, and Zambia beat South Africa by 3-0. Barbara Banda scoring a brace, and the other goal scored by Avel Chitunda and Barbara Banda scoring a brace. So this is in preparation for the African Women Championship qualifiers. So Zambia is hosting Namibia on Wednesday at Nkoloma Stadium. Make sure you turn up in large numbers, fill up Nkoloma Stadium and support the Copper Queens as they try to go to the African Championship. Then let's look at other results in the MTN Super League. On Saturday, it was Green Buffaloes 3, Chambishi 0, Kafue Celtic 1, Power Dynamos 0, Kansanshi Dynamos 2, Zesco United 0. So Zesco were punished by the former player Jesse Jackson Were, who scored a brace for his new side Kansanshi Dynamos. Nkana 1, Indeni 0, Diamond Chikwekwe scoring for Nkana. Konkola Blades 0, Kabwe Warriors 2. On Sunday it was Buttecon 3, Lusaka Dynamos 1, and then Forest Rangers 1, Kwazi 0. Quadricola scoring for Forest Rangers. Green Eagles 2, Red Arrows 0. So red arrows this time were not red hot, they were frozen. Goals scored by Hosea Silwimba and Derek Vulaya. Let's see how they are standing in top 4. So red arrows on top despite losing. They've played 23 games, they have 43 points. Green Eagles, 23 games, they have 39 points. Zesco United, they have played 23 games, they have 38 points in 3rd position. And Nkana, 23 games, 36 points. So red arrows on top, 43 points, followed by Green Eagles, 39 points. Zesco United, 38 points. And Nkana, 36 points. Let's go to the second tier. This time we go to the FAS Eden University National Division 1 League. Week 23 results. Saturday it was Luapula Green Eagles 1, City of Lusaka 0. Albert Mpande recording his first loss, and it was Paul Malama who scored. Livingston Pirates 0, Police College 1. Nkula Musuba scoring for Police College. Nchanga Rangers 3, Mighty Mufulira Wanderers. This time not so mighty, losing by 3 goals to 1 at the hands of Nchanga Rangers. Trident 1, Jumulo 0. Robert Musesha scoring the only goal for Trident. Zesco Malaiti Rangers shocking Kitwe United 3-1. Then Young Green Buffaloes 0, Gomes 1. Dalisombewe scoring the only goal. Muza 1, Napsa Stars 0. This was a heated game at Nakambala Stadium in Mazabuka. Chipo Sondash is scoring for Muza. On Sunday, it was Kaisa 0, Young Green Eagles 2. And Quattro Kalumbila 0, Lumwana Radiance 1. So Lumwana Radiance are still on top, 43 points from 22 games. Then Muza in 2nd position, 42 points from 23 games. Napsa Stars in 3rd position now, 40 points from 23 games. And the Young Green Eagles have gone in top 4 after winning in Kawe, after beating Kaisa by 2 goals to 0. Now they have 37 points. In the English Premier League, on Saturday it was Manchester United 1, Southampton 1, Brentford 0, Crystal Palace 0, Everton 3, Leeds United 0, Watford 0, and Brighton and Hove Albion, where Mwepu plays 2, Norwich City 0, Manchester City 4. On Sunday it was Burnley 0, Liverpool 1, Newcastle United 1, Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Leicester City, where Patson Daka plays 2, West Ham United 2. And the game between Chelsea and Arsenal was postponed because Chelsea were involved in the FIFA Club World Cup, and they are the champions. Congratulations to them. They've bagged the first title of the Club World Cup. Let's now relax a bit as we dance to a song done by various artists titled Bola Nalesa.
Jazzy boy, Zambia, Zambia, King Dande, Kayambo, the king of the dance hall, Felix Feligo, let's go, Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Bola, 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 Production, ladies and gentlemen.
Sugar sounds. Oh yeah.
Bola Nipa Easy by various artists. A great song there. And dedication to the Chipolo Polo and the Copper Queens as they take on Namibia on Wednesday. So Nipa Easy, you have to make sure that you score a lot of goals on Wednesday. Okay, time for me now to introduce my guests in the studio. And the first one is former 400-meter runner. He has represented Zambia at high level, and at some point he was in Mauritius. And talking about Saviour Kombe. A big welcome to Saviour Kombe. That's him there. You can see that he is athletic, he's still athletic despite him retiring. You know, we'll be able to get the story whether he's retired at a young age or not. So Saviour Kombe there. Then we also have a motor rally driver who has been on the scene for about a decade now, and he's running a racing team called Blacksmith Racing. His name is Mujo Simakoloyi. A big welcome, and I can't wait for the last segment where you have to battle in both juggling and also arm wrestling. So gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. You can come and join me here. Right, actually they are looking like same types of bodies, I'm sure. I can't tell right now who can win on arm wrestling, but I'm sure maybe Mujo, because of his height maybe, he has an advantage. All right, let me start with you, Saviour. Give us a story. How did you start running? How did you know that you can even compete at a high level? How did you develop interest in athletics?
I started the athletics before I was a boxer.
Oh,
so
really?
Through boxing, I was running, because boxing there's a lot of runs. So I used to run there. I used to beat my friends. Then the time I reached at grade 12, I said, no, let me participate in athletics. Then I won there. Then from 2005, I was just winning until I qualified for Junior World Championship. That's where now I said, no, I can do this. I left even my parents in Chingola. I came here in Lusaka. I joined the Green Buffalo Club. Then from there, I keep up.
Okay, so where were you born from, and which year was that?
1991 in Chingola Hospital.
Okay, so muliwe na Chingola, muliwe na Kopara.
Yes.
Okay, so in terms of your career, your talent, it all started from the Copper Belt.
Copper Belt. Time nishindiri kusukuru grade 12, last grade. And then but chaba remfunda eba nglenko serisha sana. You can do this. You can do this until.
Okay, so there was boxing at school.
No, boxing ni ya kwangana mbuwa ichenga ta uko amaka voto wale ku life we. They to survive. So kuyafwa kwa amaka you tap power from somewhere. So that's how when I joined the boxing.
Okay, interesting. Let me hear from Mujo. Mujo, where did you grow up from? Which year?
The majority of it I grew up in Zambia, but I spent some time growing up in Tanzania and some time growing up in Uganda. So I went to school at Belpap College here, and then I went out to university in the United Kingdom. But I started my racing while I was at Belpap College.
Right. How did you develop the interest?
Racing?
Yes.
Before 2010, I started in 2010, there used to be a sprint championship. In that sprint championship, they used to allow standard cars. This was run by Paul Monge. So I had a car that I used to use to go to work, and one time someone convinced me to try. So I went into the sprint racing. I came out second in my work car. It was a Corolla, I think it was. So after I came out second a few times and eventually won production class for that year, I was encouraged then by he's still president, Sam Chingambo, and he said it's safer if you go into a rally car. So that's how I found myself in a rally car for 2011.
That's interesting. So we are talking about over a decade now.
Yeah.
Wow. So before motor ride, did you do any other sports discipline? I know at Baobab College they do a lot of sports there.
I was very big on football and athletics, also funny enough. But then I realized very quickly that I was not good enough to go professional, so I abandoned that dream in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They say anyway, motor rally has to be for the elite. Maybe you come from an elite family and maybe that's why you developed that interest.
Actually, contrary to belief, I don't think it's for the elite. I think it's daunting because it's expensive. So a lot of people say, oh no, and they leave it. I was fortunate enough to have had just enough to try. And along the way, I got lucky, joined a few teams, and a few of my friends supported me until I was in a position to fund it myself. And that's when I saw the most success, when I had the backing.
All right. Saviour, so which event did you start with? Did you start with 400 meters when you started athletics?
No, I started with 100 meters. Then my coach told me, you have got a bad start. You cannot learn 100 meters. 100 meters is for those who have got a quick start. So try 400 meters. That's how I started learning a 400 meters.
Okay.
And the first competition I won big guys from Zambia Army, and by then I was very young. So I beat those guys. Then I nakwata ila mola wata chapwa inenaya.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you know which coach spotted you that I think you could talent too?
Yeah. Felix Mbuye is from Chingola. Then na headmaster wa mwabali pa Kabundi High School. Now he's late. Yes.
I don't know why Chingola has really produced some stars, because I believe Sydney Siam is also from Chingola.
Yes.
Nidim English, I'm sure she's also from Chingola. Oh, do you know what's the secret with Chingola and athletics?
It's about, again, no for Chingola life yabako. Okay, in short, fekopa built life yabako. It's not something feba easy. Fiance fia kuruisha fia ngawa pwala lako, you cannot. So yaine tukula fila kobat add. So that munamune muli life you kukosa. That's where you got even we get our talents, like na short chitafe chonze wa kuchingola munafuma something.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Mujo, so when you started in 2011, I'm sure competition was very stiff that time. So you found the likes of Muhammad Issa still competing actively, and maybe I think Muna Singh Senior was still competing at that time.
Yeah, when I started rallying, I started in a Corolla rally car. That was for Geoffrey Chulo. So I knew I couldn't win the event, but what I was trying to fight for was my class championship. And that time, the one who was fastest in our class was Muna Jr. So we fought 2011, fought 2012, we were coming out 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And the big guys was still the big guys, you know, Muhammad Issa, Muna Senior, Jassy. and all those guys. Also Ken Mukosa.
Yeah, Ken
Those
Mukosa.
were people performing wonders that time. So we just used to look up to them. We were not trying to chase them at that time. We would wait for the right time to go and chase those guys.
Right. Well, I know it has taken you so long, like over a decade now. That time you couldn't even win like maybe a stage, not a stage, a competition, like maybe, can I say a stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never finished on the podium from the time you started.
No, I have. No, in the beginning years, yes. But ever since I formed the team and Blacksmith, I completely changed now. So now I'm with the top boys. I'm class A now. So again, it all boils down to your equipment, right? Rally is about man and equipment. So at the time, I couldn't get my hands on the best equipment. So no matter how talented you are, if you don't have the equipment, you don't have the equipment. But when I got the equipment, the first event I had in these cars that I'm driving now, I came out second, even after 3 years of absence. So it shows you the difference of equipment. You don't necessarily need to be the most talented.
Yeah, I know from 2011 you were consistent competing, even if you were not finishing in a respectable position. Then you disappeared. Where did you go to?
I had to set up my business, Modern. I had to set up my businesses. I had to bring myself financially stable. Rally is expensive. You know, you can't set up your businesses at the same time rally. And unfortunately, the commercial ground, the commercial field isn't really supportive of rally as it is with football and all those things. So a lot of it falls onto the drivers themselves. So I had to take a break. I had to take a break to set up my businesses. And I was tired. I was tired of driving and coming out sixth and driving, coming out fifth. No matter how hard you try, you're fifth and sixth. So I decided I'll take a break, build my businesses, and come back strong.
Okay. Which car is that one that you're driving now?
This is a Subaru Impreza N14. It's built by Tommy Mackinnon Racing in Europe. This is a full works car, so full works shocks. We have a crash box, computers, Motec tuned, VF36 turbos. So the science that most rally guys would know, but average guys won't know. But it's a full-on works car. If you see it driving, you've seen it driving. It's a complete beast of a car.
Indeed. Is it working? Is it working for you?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I think the whole year I was consistently in the top 5. So for me, it's really changed my game, big time, the car.
Okay. So maybe the only one maybe who is maybe a challenge for you is Leroy Gomes.
Yeah. Me and Leroy, we have a good fight every time. It's him and me. It's a good fight. But he has also a superior machine right now. So when he brings out that superior machine, it's a walk away for him. But if he comes in the normal equipment that he comes in, we give him a good fight. When he came to Lusaka, I gave him a hiding. When we went to Ndola, in fact, I gave him a hiding in Ndola also. So Leroy is the competition right now. It's the national champion, the fastest on the grid.
All right. But one thing I've observed is that you have, there's no consistency. Like you would win maybe the first day, the second day you failed to finish. What has been the challenge?
And that happened twice last year, you're right. It's the machines, right? It's man and machine. So the first time, I won the first day. The second day, my ball joint snapped. So the next one was the international rally where we rode the car. It was complete driver error. But these things happen, right? When you're driving, it's easy to get to top 5. It's easy to get top 4. But when you're driving to win the event, a split second can completely change the direction of the rally. So you have to be focused 100%. Your luck has to be on your side, and the machine also has to be on your side.
Right. Saviour, before you went into athletics, is there anyone you were looking up to that I want to be like that one?
Modern, before athletics, athletics, it was not in my dream. It just came like that. So after it came, then I started like because everyone was talking about Matete, Samuel Matete. So I said, no, Samuel Matete is out. He's in America. Me also, I want to go somewhere, not here in Zambia, out somewhere. And I was Bamatete bonalero shapo sana.
Okay.
Yes. And everyone was saying, Afuma kuno kuchingola.
He's also from Chingola,
yes,
right?
He's from Chingola.
Chingola has really produced a world champion in Matete who won a 400-meter No, yes, 400-meter hurdles in 1991 world champion, then in 1996 a silver medal at the Olympics. And that's Sydney Siame, and yourself, and who is the other one?
Rod and Joe.
Rod and Jovu. Well, so you give each other inspiration, right?
Actually, it's me who panga Sydney.
Okay.
Encouragement, even Kabange Mompopo.
Okay.
Kabange, we met in, by then I was staying in Mauritius. Then we met, that is Gatling, you know?
Oh,
Gatling?
yes. Where did you meet?
That was in Switzerland.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Gatlin from the US.
He's from US. The one who actually the boat.
Wow, yes.
He's my friend, a good friend of mine.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about your transition. You were spotted at school, Mwaleunama Championships. Which one was that one? Which championship
That is
was that?
Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, 2014.
2014. How was your performance?
My performance was good. It was well. After this Commonwealth, I went to African Championship.
Did you win any medal?
No, I went up to the final.
Okay.
And that is Mauritius newspaper.
Okay.
Because in Mauritius newspaper, or in Mauritius, I'm a big man.
Yeah.
Everyone.
You're a big boy when you reach there.
Everyone knows me in Mauritius because mostly I'm a sports news. But then sender, even Gawakata competition, I was like someone over the Rishapo or something. Good
Okay.
in sports. No, I was doing well in sports.
All right. So tell us about your journey. You were picked by Felix Mbuye. How did it go from there?
I picked from Felix Mbuye. Then I started training there. From there, I came here in Lusaka. In Lusaka, I went to Mauritius. But competition yes. Then I went to stay in Mauritius. That's where everything changed the time I went to Mauritius, because here in Zambia I was behind with a lot of things, yeah, which can make athletes to be on top or to run good.
Okay.
So in Mauritius, after I stayed like a year, the second year I went to Europe, because there I used to go to Europe. Europe for me, it's nothing. I just see like a town. If I'm a town, I used to travel a lot. Yeah.
For competition.
For the competitions.
Okay.
And there in Europe, that's where I said like, kuna bantu wanapange mpia, because every competition.
In athletics.
Yes, there is money in athletics. It's only here in Zambia you see like there is nothing in athletics. In athletics in short, it can change your whole life stuff. Yes. So after Nambokula kumbwa kwa banandi bamufu bali wina pia, then it started motivating me. Wow, because it's two things. Okure kwa tempia, then urefu anokita qualify kuya ku any competition, big competition, maybe world championship, world championship, Olympics, Commonwealth Games, or African Games, African Championship. Yeah, like that. So that's how I started. Then in 2012, I went to 2011 I went to Europe, but 2012 that's when I started like doing well. And 2013, 2014, I was even being selected to be in an African team.
Wow.
To represent Africa, not Zambia. Africa. I don't know how many people who do athletics like 400 in Africa, but I was picked because of 4. Me, Saviour from Zambia, Isaac Makwara from Botswana, Vanik from South Africa. Yeah, this guy is the world record holder for 400
meters.
Yes, then Makwara is an Olympic gold medalist for last year. Then this guy from Kenya, born, I think like me.
How did it feel to compete with the elites that you've mentioned?
Okay, it's not easy, because I find those guys already in the game. So like for me, it was very hard for me like to compete with them. But after some time, I get used to compete with them. So every time we to a competition, because we not a competition, we stay in one hotel. So we used I prefer dining Malaysia, station. So like for me, preparing to Malaysia na bien. Naleba psychology naleba study. Oh, okay. So this guy is tough. Kai walikuwa tefta in athletics. You go far.
Oh.
So now I'm on. Oh, so if you are quite stubborn, if you have to be stubborn in athletics. If you have a stubborn, okay. Na me too, I'm stubborn. So weakness yako yansha. Okay. So I used to nanguturi angala fida. I'm praying. I'm a intelligence, like a mind. Yeah, something like that.
So how did your team perform? The Team Africa in that relay?
We won.
Wow.
Yes, we won, and after we won that,
you were the first one to run?
No, it was Boniface, Isaac Makwara, me, the anchor, then the Vanek.
So by
then Isaac was umukali.
Oh.
By then, so all actually we up number 2.
Okay.
So that
great.
we balance. Uliangaleta nimbina bamushako makwara arajomborodako. Then makwara ngampangira ko gap ine I will maintain that gap. Then Vaniki will finish.
Okay. So Mujo, we've heard from Saviour that there's a lot of money in athletics. How about in motor rally?
Rally by itself doesn't pay. Huh? You would make money if your sponsors were in excess to your spending. So your sponsorship, your endorsements, think about your rally and your rally car as a big marketing billboard. The most followed team right now I think is Gomes and then Blacksmith, my team.
Oh, wow.
So when your team is highly followed, highly sponsored, then yes, you can possibly make money from rally. Otherwise, no, it's too costly.
Keep spending.
Yeah, it's too costly.
But I wonder why there's no prize money in motor rally, especially in Zambia.
No, last year we had sponsorship from Sarago Motors. Sarago Motors came on board for 2 rallies and they offered sponsorship for class winners. So we won some money in that event, but generally no, we don't get paid to rally. It's usually what do you call it? A passion project. Yeah. But for many drivers, they made a good career out of it for a short while. I think Muhammad Issa was one of the drivers that ran a profitable rally campaign also. I think Mona Singh Senior those days. But the corporate budget has been squeezed a bit. So you need a lot of money to make a profit after rally.
Right.
If I gave you the numbers, you'd be worried.
So you've been in motor rally for now 11 years. How has it been for you? How has been the journey?
Oh, I love the journey. I love it very much because I don't only race with people who I don't know. I race with people who I've known for many, many years. Some of them are friends and have become family because of rally. And that was one of the big reasons why I started the racing team, because of the friendships that have been built in rally. And I thought the only way to contribute back to the sport, beyond just me entering with my car, would be to create a platform where other drivers can ascend into the sport. I think it changes the whole dynamic when rally becomes a possible motorsport, a possible sport for anyone, as opposed to people being scared and being fearful and saying, oh no, it's only for rich people, it's only for this family and that family. I think we've shown that it's now possible for anyone who has the dream, who has the resilience to persevere through the challenges of the finances.
Okay, so what would be your advice to a young boy or a young girl who is watching and wants to be a rally driver? Where do they start from?
Yeah, make sure you say girl. Me, I have the only female champion rally driver in my team. Huh? By the way, don't forget. So I'm very particular about that. The only history in Zambia.
Which one is that one?
Miles.
Oh,
Miles.
Miles.
She's the only championship female driver in history in Zambia. It's not indigenous, not nothing, the only female period. So, no, anyway, for someone who's coming up into the sport for the first time, I think it's very important to get involved at any level. Get involved as a marshal first, get involved as a navigator first, even just part of the organizing team so that you learn the sport before you start thinking about driving. Because when you go directly to driving, what you need right away will scare you so much that you never ever enter the sport. But build your passion, continue to go and watch rallies, engage with drivers at service, come to the blacksmith camp or talk to anyone, but ultimately start small. Start small and then build up so that you understand every aspect of the sport.
Okay, but how can they get a rally car, for instance? Do you rent out cars or something like that?
For this year, yes, I'll rent out some cars, but generally, no. Look, rally cars you'll have to buy, and these are expensive pieces of machinery. Yeah? I think the cheapest you can buy, I started off in a Corolla rally car. That rally car cost me 100,000 kwacha for a Corolla rally car. If you say the shocks that us guys use in Class A, I think a set of shocks is $12,000-$15,000, one set. So you don't just wake up and go and buy a rally car. You must carefully plan it. I wouldn't advise anyone who's not financially stable to take on rally.
Yeah, I remember I hosted Azim Tikle here, and I was asking him why he's stuck to a Land Cruiser and not these other, rally cars. He said, it's very expensive to run, for instance, a Subaru or something like that.
Yes, very expensive, let alone running 4 of them. It's something else completely. But look, it's passion. At the end of the day, it's passion. I used to play golf before I did rally, and golf did nothing for me compared to what rally does. Okay. So it's all relative. Like, even if you go to athletics, I'm sure if you ask him how much is a pair of spikes, they're different. There's entry-level spikes, there's high-level spikes. If you're going to wear cycling shorts, there's different levels. You can buy cheap ones, you can buy the ones that tension the muscles. So it depends, right? So you can come into rally and buy a Corolla, or you can come into rally and buy a Ford Fiesta like Leroy, or you buy a Subaru. It's up to what you can manage at the time. But ultimately, just do whatever you have to do to have fun. And Azim Tikle is a good example of that. He can never win, but he's there at every event.
Indeed. And so how many rally cars do you have?
Now?
Yes.
I have 5 rally cars.
Wow.
I have 5 rally cars, yeah. 2 of them I run myself, and then the other 3 I run with racing drivers, works drivers.
Okay, so at what point do you decide to use which car?
I have, in my cars, I've got a car I use for testing and the car I use for racing. These are identical cars. Okay. And then I have the Skoda, which is a new car. The Skoda is so I can compete with Leroy and that Ford Fiesta. That's why I
so you have a new car, the Skoda?
Yeah.
Wow, how much did that cost you?
In kwacha or in euros?
Both, especially in kwacha.
It was substantial. It was, I'll say, well over 2.5 million kwacha for the car.
Wow, 2.5 million kwacha. Wow. Yeah, so and you are yet to compete with it?
No.
Okay, and you use it this season?
Yeah, I'll use it for select events this season. But if there is no need, then I'll stick to the other cars because it ruins competition,
Right. What are some of your achievements from the time you started rallying? What would you say you've achieved?
I told you I've won production class. I've won, in fact, I've come out for 3 years continuous. I was second in front wheel drive class. I've won class championships in 2017. I think I was on the podium for this year. Now I made it up into class A for last year. Overall championship, I think I finished 4th overall last year, only behind the Gomes guys because, like you said, I wasn't consistent. But I think the best is yet to come for Blacksmith. As a team, there were many championships that we picked up. But individually, I think this year is going to be our year.
This year will be your year. Wow, looking forward. What's your target for this year?
To win the championship, nothing else.
All right.
Nothing else.
Do you intend to participate in the African Championship?
I'll only run 3 events in the IRC. I'm only going to do 3 international events this year because it's too expensive to run all my cars and also run an IRC season same year. So I'll run a few events IRC this year, and then next year I'll try to take on the whole IRC. Okay,
which events? So Zambia?
I want to do Zambia, South Africa, and Kenya.
Great.
That's what I'm aiming for this year, yeah.
So that you can be part of the... So in Zambia right now we've had Satwan Singh, Mona Singh, Muhammad Isa, and Jesse Singh.
Yes.
So we are yet to have an indigenous Zambian winning the title.
No. When I do, it will be the first, hopefully. So it should be interesting, isn't it?
Yes, very interesting. So what's the ultimate thing you'd want to achieve in your rally career?
I have a goal to have 10 rally cars. That's my goal. I want to run 10 rally cars, all of them with new drivers. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to change the way the sport has been for the last 20 years, so to speak. It's been run by elites and it's been run by specific families. So that's really limited a lot of talented people. You've got a lot of people that can do it that have never had the chance. And this is simply because of when people have 4 or 5 rally cars, they give them to their brothers and cousins and not perhaps who is the most talented, isn't it? So I don't think we've ever seen the most talented Zambian driver, personally, in my opinion. I think many of the talented drivers have disappeared into thin air just because they've never had the chance. You can see it with
black sponsorship as well. If you speak to Kenny Mukosa, will say, no, I don't have sponsorship, but he's able to drive.
Yeah, so look, Kenny Mukosa has been here since what, 1991 or something like that. These are names that have been here for such a long time. That's 30 years or whatever it is rallying. Generally, rally is a young man's sport, right? So in a normal functioning motorsport association, you should be getting the youngest drivers coming up to the top and the older ones falling down. But because of finances, you find the older they get, the more money they have, so they keep on winning. But that's, I think, counterproductive for our sport, and that's why you find more attention towards football. I'll give you an example. I own Chainda Bombers Football Club, and you'll find in that club that the young promising talents, they play there 1, 2, 3 seasons and they go up to Eden and go up to the other leagues. But the older ones will stay. Now in rally, it's the other way around. You know, the older ones win more championships and the younger ones disappear because either budget or their family decides it's more important for them to do something else. So as a sport, it's not marketable as it should be.
True.
So that's my dream, that is to change that a bit.
True. Saviour, what are some of your achievements in athletics? And why have you retired at a young age? Because you are just 31.
Yes. In athletics, after I start, you think, even my job where I work in Zambia Army, it's through athletics.
Wow.
Because after I won the Intercontinental World Cup, that's when the president, I joined the army through the president. He called me in Mauritius and they sent me the ticket to fly Kwisakono to Zambia. And I joined the army. In 2 days, I went back to Mauritius again.
Which president is that?
That by then it's Mr. Scott. By then he was acting as a president after the president.
Oh,
died.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I've achieved a lot, and I'm looking forward because I'm not going to sit at all since my career is down. Then in the cafe, I want to enter and my association, but then become more coaching program.
You've done some coaching courses?
Yes, I've done some coaching course, and my experience, which I have, I can make athletes a good athletes in this country.
Yeah, you said you made Yavena Sydney.
Yes, even Sydney to run like on Saturday, because he's not there, he's not on peak. But I sit down with him, I counsel him, I tell him, like, if you are kuchita boy, much one day so don't worry, if you are parefi until he ran well.
Okay.
Yes.
But why have you retired at a young age?
Okay, I've got, I can still run, but once when I start like trainings, I've got a problem of my knee. Either locking a then it starts paining just like that. But mbwesesha sana kunuma. The time I trained up OID, so that was I think 2016. Nari contract yokuboko.
Oh,
you remember this?
So yes. There I can see. Yeah.
And I was doing my preparations for Olympics. Then from there I went to South Africa for African Championship in Durban. But my muscles, because I had my hamstring hearing that impone in contact. So the hamstring, it was bothering me, pain. Then I went never off the track. But
it must have been so devastating just for your career to be cut short like that.
I feel pain because every time when I go for my trainings, I can jog, maybe some lines. But after that, I'll start feeling my knee, a pain. So that thing, it pains me a lot. But since it pains me, I want to make one one athlete or two, so that that glory, and my glory and then it's me who have made that one.
Okay.
Or my athlete now is going to World Championship, Olympics, something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, so sad about that. Mujo, tell us the inspiration behind Blacksmith Racing Team.
I took a break from the sport 2017, and when I took a break from the sport, I was really hurt by the fact that you would meet people who say, you're very, very talented, why have you stopped? You know, you're very, very talented, or you could have done this, you're very, very, and it would end like that. So I always knew in the back of my mind that when I came back into motorsport, I wouldn't change that narrative. I wouldn't want talent to just disappear, right? So initially when I got back into motorsport, I sat down with Geoffrey Chulu, who gave me the first Corolla at a rally. Before I bought that car, he gave it to me to race with, and I rode it. That's how I bought the car. So I told him what I was planning, and he said, listen, if you can get that done, that would be a good thing for the sport. So when I did that, I was advised left, right, and center. Oh, rally is dangerous. They will roll your cars. They will damage your cars. But there was always that voice that used to remind me to say, you had the talent. If someone had given you that right car at that right time, who knows what could have happened, right? So I was in a position now where I could help others. I had got enough sponsorship from corporate, and I also had enough from my own businesses to back that. So when I did that, I bought the 2 cars from Dead Star. I think that year I bought 3 cars. 1 car I gave away to another driver. And then I said, now it's time to try. So when I tried Blacksmith, the immediate following that I got from Blacksmith, it was overwhelming. Even I didn't expect that.
Wow.
The media, they came to the workshop that houses our racing team. I think you came also.
Yes, I was one of them.
So that when the media came, the response that I got from everyone, it really reassured me. It gave me that that drive to say you're doing the right thing. And then when we had stuff like the first female driver, the first female championship winning driver, we had a team of a large variety. I think we started out with Yazdan, myself, Geoffrey Chulu. We had his daughter navigate him. We had Muna come back at the end of the year to come and rally. We had Laston Hamonga with his new car coming back also. So we had a big variety, and that sort of changed the narrative around the sport. Everyone started to think it was possible. So when you came to a rally and you saw the Blacksmith camp, it was packed with supporters. Or because now it became normal, people were traveling from Monze, from Pemba, from Chingola to come and watch Blacksmith. So for me, it reassured me. That's why as long as I can do it, I won't stop. Right. Because for me, it proved my point right, isn't it?
Indeed. When do you intend to retire from motor rally?
When I win 1 national championship, 1 African championship, then I'm going to stop, and I'm only going to run a racing team until my son's big enough to rally. Then I'll come back.
Great. Okay, so now we have to go for challenges, but we go for a musical break, and this one is Chester saying Chimona wa Zambia.
Silver, more power. The Shago Beat Fest.
Uyo, Kalandanialis promotion. More power. Valia papa sana na no tulipamo. Balundo waishi wafuevo kupatana ni tabu. Nakuvundula unavundula leo limo. Bana nalikubelela yo. Naliku
Iwe.
Timuna wa Zambia ala nebo panipola. Ngabanu santila atafima kula shagata mepo. No mafuti ngabakea. Chipolo kumishina imba. Shinga Ishina imba Alatimu feno mweno wewo Kulinewo Nebunwa etiwe yatikatana Alapafuti jiakalwepo Mwewo nomanga watarana Wana kuruma nama Tumiri tutatumwe Kwali ubushiku bubona ibilatile Lo filepwa Naikala balandire bamonefyo filepwa Waluha walenda Abalandi bafika Wansangile lili pamwishinde papatawia Amapange ngwata leo Ngana fola lebo Kamutana ngana fola lebo Nkayaleka uti Ndafola Nahula foli natuyema My baby zangela Ala Foso za kamari zagula Chimuna echo nali kujaila ubusuma n'obubi bwobene nali bushiba okena kwelela fyonse sibi fyonse naiwela ndawanjelela n'ekipanda kyalishiba kyaba nisisinde tebakwesokulandako kakubiramo lero bakusana maino bali babiri ikitemwiko kyabo awe kyakwishiba bene babiri kimuna basambyala ne bapalibola nga balusatila atafima kula shagatameko n'amafuti nga bakeya nishinaimba ilishingashinga nishinaimba alatimufeno mwenwa wewo kulinewo nebunwa ekyo yatikatana n'amafuti kyakalwepo.
Right, so that's Chester Chimonaba, Zambia. So this Wednesday we'll be cheering the Copper Queens. We'll make sure they win. They beat Namibia at Nkoloma Stadium. So time for challenges now. We heard from the two gentlemen who've heard their stories. Now time for challenges. Who is the best in arm wrestling and ball juggling? So what do you want to start with? Arm wrestling? Okay, let me sanitize you. So the podium is yours, so you rest your, I'm sure you'll be using your right hand. Yes, so you rest your elbows there. When I count up to 3, when I say go, that's when you go. So 1, 2, 3, go. Is it Mujo or is it Saviour Kombe? So maybe Mujo, because of his height, he has an advantage. But Saviour Kombe is trying to cling on. He's trying to be strong, but you know, Mujo is used to lifting engines, car engines. Maybe he'll be strong. Is he going to win it? Saviour! Saviour is, because Saviour is a soldier, so he's trying to be strong as well. Is he going to win?
Okay,
looks like it's a draw. It's a draw. Wow, Saviour, you've surprised me. I thought you were going to. Okay, so it's ball juggling now. So we'll start with Mujo. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with Saviour since he played football before.
Okay.
So you no dropping of the ball.
All right.
And the time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. I think Mujo, it's your time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, well done. So, the winner is Saviour Kombe because the other one was a draw. Well done, gents. So we end here. This is the program for today. But send those comments on Facebook, Modern Sinkala Sports or Sports Hub, or 0955 202904 WhatsApp message. My name is Modern Sinkala on behalf of Mujo Simakoloyi Motor Rally Driver and Saviour Kombe, former 100 meters runner. Goodbye and see you next week.